Have you ever had someone in your life who's always around, yet something about them just feels off? They smile, they nod, they say all the right things, but deep down, you can't shake this uneasy feeling that something isn't quite genuine. It's almost like they've perfected the art of pretending. Their support? It feels forced. Their encouragement? Rehearsed. No matter what they say, there's this invisible barrier that tells you they don't really mean it. That's the tricky part about people who secretly dislike you. They don't come out and say it outright. They don't wave a big red flag screaming, "Hey, I can't stand you." Instead, they hide behind a mask. And one of the biggest giveaways of this fake, hollow support? When you share good news, expecting a spark of excitement, but all you get is a lukewarm response. Maybe they say, "Oh, that's great," but their tone is flat. Their eyes show no sparkle, and the energy just isn't there. Sometimes, they might mutter a quiet, "Must be nice," under their breath, as if your success somehow annoys them. It's like they feel obligated to say something positive, but deep inside, they wish they didn't have to. But real support? Real support doesn't feel like an obligation. It flows naturally, genuinely. Fake support has a distinct taste. It lingers in the backhanded compliments. You tell them about a promotion, and they reply, "Wow, didn't expect that, good for you." Or you post a photo, and they comment, "You actually look nice here." What does that even mean? It's those little jabs disguised as politeness that leave you wondering if they're really happy for you at all. Then, there's the invisible support that simply isn't there when you need it most. When life gets tough and you reach out, suddenly they're too busy, too distracted, too unavailable. Yet, funny enough, when they need someone to listen, you're the first person they call. It's a one-way street. When you step back and really see it, you realize it's not just about them failing to support you. They actually don't want to. Deep down, they don't want to see you win. Have you noticed how some people just don't believe in you the way they should? You share your dreams and goals, hoping for encouragement, but instead you get hesitation. Doubts subtly planted like, "Are you sure?" Or, "That sounds tough. Maybe you should have a backup plan." They never say, "You can't do it," but they sow seeds of doubt. If you're not careful, those seeds grow, not because you lack ability, but because someone close to you made you question yourself. True supporters don't cause self-doubt. They ignite belief and push you forward. And what about when you're in a group? Here's one I find fascinating. Have you ever noticed how some people act differently when others are around? One-on-one, they might be okay, but in a crowd, they barely acknowledge you. They laugh too loudly at someone else's joke about you. They cut you off mid-sentence. They act like you're invisible or less important. That's no accident. It's a deliberate move to show everyone how little they think of you, even if they won't say it openly. Now, let's be real. Some people are just awkward or reserved. Not everyone will throw a parade every time you succeed. That's perfectly fine. But when someone consistently makes their support feel like a scripted performance rather than genuine emotion, that's a warning sign. Because true support isn't just heard, it's felt. It's not just words, it's actions, energy, consistency. It's the friend who cheers you on without hesitation, who claps when no one else does, who doesn't just say they're happy for you but actually means it. Have you ever wondered why some people just can't celebrate your wins no matter how hard you've worked? They hesitate, downplay it, or change the subject. Maybe they say, "Oh, that's not a big deal," or act like your success was just luck. It leaves you asking yourself, why can't they just be happy for me? The harsh truth is, some people don't want to see you win. And the biggest clue? How they react to your success, and even more tellingly, how they respond to your failures. You share your good news, and suddenly their energy drops. They were fine just moments ago, but now, they seem distant, distracted, even a little irritated. They might say, "Congratulations," but you can tell it's forced. Their smile doesn't reach their eyes. Sometimes, they throw in a, "Wow, must be nice," or, "I could have done that too if I had the time." It's not a compliment, it's a way to shrink your moment, to keep you from feeling too good about yourself. And then, there are those who pretend they didn't even hear your news. You tell them about a promotion or a new opportunity, something you're excited about, and they just breeze past it like you said nothing at all. No reaction, no acknowledgement, nothing. But let them succeed, and suddenly they want the whole world to know. Funny how that works, right? When you struggle, when things don't go your way, that's when their energy changes. Suddenly, they're very interested, but not in a caring or supportive way. It's more like watching a train wreck. They lean in, ask for all the messy details, almost savoring your hardships. If you listen closely, you can almost hear the quiet satisfaction in their voice. It's subtle, but it's there, because deep down, some people actually enjoy seeing you struggle. And here's how you know. When you bounce back, when you rise after a setback, do they cheer for you? Or do they act like it never happened? Do they pull away again, uninterested and maybe even annoyed by your comeback? Because some people only feel good about themselves when they know you're down. You know, the moment you take away what they think gives them power over you, that's when their true feelings sneak out. Impossible to hide. These people, they love to keep score, but not in a healthy way that pushes both of you to grow and improve. No. Their scorekeeping is about always making sure they're a step ahead. If you accomplish something, they feel the need to one-up you. You get excited about a new goal? They respond with a dismissive, "Oh yeah, I did that years ago." Share a dream? They scoff, as if your ambition isn't worth much. It's a constant, silent competition you never agreed to. Now, don't misunderstand me. Some people are naturally competitive. Some like to joke around. And not everyone has the perfect words for every moment. But when this pattern becomes the norm, when it feels like they're rooting more for your setbacks than your successes, it's time to ask yourself, why am I holding on to someone who doesn't want to see me happy? Here's the truth. Real friends, true supporters, they don't belittle your wins or make you feel like your success is a burden to them. They don't get quieter when you shine or louder when you stumble. They genuinely want you to thrive. They cheer for you not because they have to, but because they truly want to. And when you have people like that in your life, you can feel the difference. Their support is like the sun, warm, steady, and impossible to fake. Have you ever noticed how some people just start disappearing? Not in a dramatic, confrontational way, but slowly, almost imperceptibly, they stop making plans, always seem too busy, and suddenly, you feel like you're just an afterthought. At first, you might make excuses. They've got a lot going on. Or, life's just hectic. But deep down, you know something's shifted. Because when someone secretly dislikes you, one of the biggest signs is avoidance. Not the kind where life genuinely interferes, but the kind where you can sense they just don't want to be around you. They don't cut you off entirely but keep the connection on life support, just enough contact to avoid suspicion. Never enough to feel real. They dodge invitations, claim they're swamped, yet you catch them out having fun with others. They leave your messages unread but still post on social media regularly. And when you do manage to hang out, it feels forced, like they're just going through the motions. The conversation is stilted, the laughter hollow, and you're left wondering if you're the only one trying. When someone truly values you, you don't have to chase them. But it's not just about one-on-one time. Pay attention to how they behave in groups. Ever been in a social setting where suddenly it feels like you don't even exist? They engage with everyone else, light up around others, but with you, the energy drops. You get short, minimal responses, no eye contact, no effort to include you. If you weren't there, they might not even notice. That's the thing. People who secretly dislike you don't want your presence. They tolerate it, but they don't welcome it. Over time, it shows. Sure, some might say, maybe they're just not very social. True, some are introverted or awkward. But when someone doesn't dislike you, you feel it, even if they're quiet, bad at texting, or busy, there's still effort, still warmth. You don't feel like a burden. But when someone harbors resentment, jealousy, or outright dislike, their actions, or lack thereof, make it painfully clear. They won't cut you off completely, because that's too obvious. Instead, they keep you close enough to avoid questions but distant enough to keep you guessing. And here's the kicker, you start blaming yourself. Did I say something wrong? Am I too much? But trust me, when someone truly values you, they don't leave you questioning your place. They don't treat you like an afterthought or make you feel like an outsider in their own life. Have you ever been around someone who somehow manages to make you feel small without ever openly saying they dislike you? They don't say it outright, they're smarter than that. Instead, they chip away at you with subtle digs, sarcastic remarks hidden as jokes, eye rolls, or sighs louder than words. It's not direct hostility, but it hurts all the same. Passive aggression is a massive red flag that someone close to you secretly resents you. It's their way of expressing their true feelings without taking responsibility. Because if they were direct, they'd face consequences. So instead, they throw little shots disguised as humor. They might say, "Oh, relax, I was just kidding," after making a hurtful comment, getting to hurt you while dodging accountability. It's those small comments that seem harmless at first, until you notice a pattern. You get a new job, and instead of genuine happiness, they smirk. "Wow, guess they'll hire anyone these days." Share an idea, and they say, "Oh, that's interesting. Tell them about something exciting." And they remind you, "I thought you gave up on that." Just enough doubt, just enough negativity, to make you second guess yourself. And it's not only what they say, it's how they say it. The sighs when you start talking. The exaggerated oohs that seem to mock your enthusiasm. You know that feeling when you share an achievement, and they act like they're impressed, only to realize they're just pretending. It's the way they make sure you know they remember every embarrassing moment you've had, but conveniently forget all the important things to you. This behavior isn't accidental, it's deliberate and calculated, and definitely not coming from a place of kindness or love. Then there's the way some people show annoyance toward you when you haven't done a single thing wrong. Have you ever noticed how some people just seem irritated by your presence alone? You walk into the room, and their mood instantly shifts. You start talking, and suddenly they look tired or impatient. You can almost feel the tension in their voice and in the way they interact with you. But here's the tricky part, they never openly say anything. So you start doubting yourself. You wonder, am I just imagining this? Am I being too sensitive? Maybe it's me who's the problem. But trust me, your instincts aren't lying. When someone doesn't respect you, when they secretly dislike you, their energy gives it away even if their words don't. And the biggest giveaway? When you finally call them out on their behavior, they don't apologize or reflect on what they did wrong. No, instead they flip it back on you. Suddenly, you're too sensitive, can't take a joke, or always think people are against you. Now, instead of them addressing their actions, you find yourself defending your feelings, and that's exactly what they want. Because as long as they can make you question your own emotions, they avoid taking responsibility for theirs. People who truly care about you don't make you decode their words or actions. They don't leave you wondering if they actually like you or if they're just putting up with you. Real relationships, real friendships, are built on respect. So if someone constantly makes you feel small, if they make you question yourself over and over, if they throw little jabs that feel too pointed to be harmless jokes, then it's not just their personality, it's a message. Have you ever noticed how some people turn everything into a competition? No matter what you say, do, or accomplish, they find a way to make it about themselves. You share good news, and instead of celebrating with you, they immediately start talking about their own achievements. You tell them about a challenge you're facing, and suddenly their struggles are 10 times worse. It's like they can't just let you have your moment. They have to remind you that whatever you're doing, they've done it bigger, better, or earlier. At first, you might brush it off. Maybe you tell yourself, "Oh, they're just competitive, they don't mean anything by it." But over time, you begin to see the truth. This isn't just about competition. It's about control, making sure you never feel ahead, never feel like you're winning, never feel like you have something they don't. When you really look at it, they're not with you, they're against you. It's not normal for a friend to feel threatened by your success. It's not normal for someone close to you to go quiet when good things happen to you, but suddenly light up the moment they get a chance to outshine you. Real support isn't about keeping score. It's not about making sure everything's even or that they come out on top. But when someone secretly dislikes you, that's exactly how they operate. Ever notice how they always downplay your wins? You tell them about an opportunity, and they say, "Oh, it's not that big of a deal. You accomplish something," and they respond, "Well, Anyone could do that if they had the right connections. Instead of being genuinely excited for you, they look for ways to shrink your success, making it seem less important, less special. Why? Because they can't truly celebrate you. A part of them simply doesn't want you to succeed. And it's not just the big moments you need to watch for. Pay attention to the small ones. 2. You tell someone about a new hobby or idea, and suddenly they have to start doing it too, but not in a way that's encouraging or supportive. Instead, it feels like they're trying to be better than you at it. You begin working out, and suddenly they're telling you all about how much they know about fitness. You start learning something new, and they make sure you know they've been doing it for years. It's never about growing together, it's always about making sure you never feel ahead. But here's the truth. People who are secure in themselves don't behave like this. Those who truly support you don't need to compete because they understand that your success isn't their failure. They know there's enough room for everyone to win. But when someone secretly dislikes you, they simply can't see that. In their mind, if you're shining, it means they're being pushed into the shadows. That's why they simply can't let you have your moment. And here's the worst part. When you stop competing, when you refuse to engage in their silent battle, they get frustrated. Suddenly, you're the problem. They might accuse you of being arrogant or acting like you think you're better than them. But really, they're just upset because they've lost control, their ability to keep you trapped in this endless competition. True friends and genuine supporters don't see your wins as threats. They don't feel the need to one-up you or always make sure they're ahead. Yes, they might challenge you and push you to grow, but it's always out of love and encouragement, not bitterness or resentment. When you learn to recognize the difference, you'll know exactly who's truly in your corner, and who just wants to keep you from moving too far ahead. And let me tell you, when someone is genuinely happy for you, you feel it deep down. But when they're not, you can feel that too, sometimes more clearly than you expect. Have you ever noticed how some people only show up when they want something? When they need a favor, when they're going through a tough time, suddenly you're their first call. They lean on you, vent to you, and expect you to drop everything to help. Because you care, because you're a good person. You listen, you show up, and you give whatever you can. But the moment you need support, silence. Suddenly, they're too busy, or your problems don't seem as important anymore. At first, you might brush it off. You tell yourself, oh, they must be going through a lot. But over time, a pattern emerges. They're happy to take from you. But when it comes to giving back, they're nowhere to be found. That's because they don't truly value you. They value what you do for them. And that's not friendship. That's a transaction. Maybe you know someone like this, someone who only checks in when it benefits them. Weeks or even months go by without a word. Then suddenly they pop up with a message. Hey, how have you been? But before you can even respond, the real reason appears. Oh, by the way, can you do me a favor? It's never just catching up. There's always a hidden agenda, one that benefits them. What happens when you finally say no? When you're the one who needs something? Watch how quickly they pull away, how their energy shifts. Because when someone secretly dislikes you, they don't see you as a person who matters, they see you as a convenience. And the moment you stop being useful, they stop showing up. Worse still, sometimes they don't just disappear, they resent you for setting boundaries. They act colder, drop passive-aggressive comments, or make you feel guilty. Wow, I guess I know where we stand now. I just thought you'd want to help. It's no longer about the favor, it's about control. They don't like that you're no longer playing your assigned role in their life. You can feel it, the shift, the tension, the unspoken resentment. It's in the way they stop including you. Stop engaging, stop trying. The truth is, they were never really there for you in the first place. You were just convenient, a person they could lean on until they didn't need you anymore. And that's a hard truth to swallow. Because when you care about someone, when you invest your time, energy, and love into a relationship, the last thing you want to believe is that it was one-sided all along. But here's the reality: real relationships, real friendships, don't work that way. They aren't built on conditions or what you can do for someone else. They're based on mutual respect, genuine care, and showing up because you want to, not because it's convenient. Once you recognize that someone only values you when they need something, you have a choice. You can keep playing along, staying available, hoping they'll change, or you can accept the truth. You deserve better. You deserve people who show up for you the way you show up for them. You deserve relationships that don't feel like a one-way street. And the moment you stop pouring energy into those who only take, that's when you create space for the people who truly want to be there.